there are a few things that millionaires do differently than ordinary people on a normal Tuesday or any other day of the week. So today we're going to look at 7 of those things that might be interesting for you to implement in your own life as well. So let's dive right in. Just if we haven't met, I'm Sophia, a doctor from Germany, talking about building wealth so we can become work optional. Number 1 is they treat their attention like an asset, because they know when they get distracted, that takes away from all the things that really matter. That means they pay attention to what they consume, who they're spending time with, and what they say yes to. For example, unnecessary meetings or unhealthy relationships, they are not just a waste of time. They can affect your mood and your motivation, even your energy in a negative way. And there's this nice mantra that I learned from Adrienne, from Yoga with Adrienne. She has a huge channel here on YouTube and I've been doing yoga with her for years. And this mantra says, where attention goes, energy flows. So it's really essential to be aware of where you put your attention every day, even every hour of the day. And if this attention is really aligned with what you want to achieve in life. For me personally, for example, I do try to dial down on Instagram because this endless scrolling through fashion and travel content, I mean, it is nice to look at, but the fast movement and all this content just kind of makes me tired, to be honest. So to preserve my energy for more important stuff, I try to stick to at least once a day or only twice a day, instead of during every little pause that I have, and especially not during my most productive time, which for me usually is in the morning. And this, by the way, is also a matter of productivity, because I recently read somewhere that when you interrupt a task, it will take you about 20 minutes to get back into real focus on that task. Isn't that crazy? So millionaires, they watch where their attention goes. Number 2 is they invest in their own clarity. That can mean journaling, reflection, coaching, therapy. Maybe not all of them at once, but whatever's helping them to think clearly under pressure. And when a problem is circling in your head, then writing about it can actually unlock the solution. Or at least it can put the problem into a better perspective, so it doesn't seem that big anymore. Or a regular reflection of life in general, or also the specific areas in your life like health, wealth, and relationships, can help you see if you're on track with what you actually want in your life. I do this regularly. In fact, I journal every day in the evening using the Leuchtturm 1917 in the hardcover version. And I also reflect on the week in here every Sunday. So I use a simple plain journal for that. I actually don't like lines because I feel like they limit my thinking or, put my thinking into a box. Yeah, I don't know. But I do like to write on just plain paper. And for the wealth part, I have a financial reflection blueprint. It's a set of questions I ask myself once a year, or sometimes more often. And this helps me see where I stand financially, in a broader sense and not just knowing my numbers, like my net worth and my expenses and stuff. I made it into a PDF if you want to use it too. You'll find a link down below. And so this investing into clarity can also include getting help when they need it. Because in some cases or at a certain point, it doesn't help you anymore if you're trying to do everything on your own. And then, for example, if a coach can bring in more expertise, that can save them a lot of time and a lot of effort, of figuring it out on their own. I heard this expression once and I loved it. It's collapsing time for you. So if you can find someone who collapses time for you within a specific field, that's gold. Number 3 is they invest in their health, because they know that a healthy body is the foundation that lets everything else compound. So they take real care of their sleep, of their movement, and of their food. Maybe they even take a personal trainer, to stay fit. And for me personally, after working as a doctor all those years and seeing all those patients, definitely had me concentrate on my health much more as before as well. So for example, 1.5 years ago, I did a course on health/eating that completely changed my thinking about food and also my habits around food. It's called Wild Fit, and I was astonished by the results that I got. The founder is Eric Edmeades. He also has a free challenge, I think. You'll find a link down below in the video description in case you want to check it out. I don't drink alcohol anymore. I rarely drink coffee, maybe once or twice a month, because I just know that it messes with my sleep. I try to keep my sleep schedule not just during the week, but also on the weekends, because I notice that I just don't feel as good and as energized when I go to bed too late. I exercise every day. I try to get my steps in. And I have to say, all these little things, they help me feel good physically and mentally, like tremendously. So all these small habits can really add up. Number 4 is they invest in the people that matter. Millionaires know that relationships are the most important thing in our life. They don't just determine our wealth, they also determine our health. And about the health part, there was this great TED Talk about a long-term study they made. I'll link this for you in the video description as well. So they schedule time for their loved ones and don't just leave it at, okay, whenever. And they actively put effort into their marriages, into their friendships, into their partnerships, into their family. Number 5 is they never stop learning. And this kind of learning may be related to money, it may be related to relationships, it may be related to their job, it may be related to health or any kind of other skill. But whenever they hit some kind of roadblock or they want to improve a certain area in their life, they learn the thing to overcome that roadblock. And the moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. So learning new things is always a good idea because it also expands your perspective and maybe even your vision and what you find is possible in life. Number 6 is they buy back their time. Now don't get me wrong, they also do buy things, but they also use their money to buy back their time. This can mean paying someone who cleans their house or who cooks or who does all kind of maintenance stuff that just takes a lot of time. Maybe even a personal assistant to take care of these organizational stuff. And they do that because buying back your time is an upgrade that just frees up more hours that you now have to do more important things. And there was this tweet once from Naval Ravikant. He's a businessman and an investor. And he became known through his tweet storm, How to Get Rich Without Getting Lucky. I will link this for you too in the video description. And he said, and I think this even was within this tweet storm, either earn, learn, or relax. Outsource everything else. Now granted, this can be a hard thing to do, especially when you're not a millionaire yet, but just to think about it, how you can use your time in a better way can really help. And in fact, when I heard this for the very first time, I was like, oh wow, yeah, that makes sense. And I think I heard it from Ali Abdaal, who's a YouTuber about productivity. And he said, if you can outsource a daily task that you have for an hourly rate that is lower than your own hourly rate, then this is already a win, because then you can use your hours to, for example, work more or to relax more and then show up to your work more energized, which again can lead to you being more productive and then maybe you earning more money. So there really can be a ripple effect to this buying back your time aspect. So yeah, think about it and let me know how it goes. And number 7 is they take the next swing. And most millionaires are not what you would expect. So it's usually not someone who reaches $1 million in net worth and then suddenly stops working or stops doing things in general, or even 10 million. Because even the ones who are privatiers, which simply means that they can live off of their wealth comfortably, even they usually start new projects. Maybe a new business, maybe a new market, maybe a new creative challenge. So if you've maybe hit a plateau, think about what could be the next swing for you to take it to the next level. Now you may have noticed that none of those things were actually about money management, and that is because millionaires already have their money system running. So they don't need to put effort into this every day. They pretty much automated everything so they can concentrate all the other things that we talked about today. Automation is one of the secret ingredients of building wealth efficiently. I'll link a video about this for you here. If you're still here, thank you for watching. I hope you got some value out of this. Wishing you success, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.